Hello backpackers, this is Juan from Juan Backpacks, and I'm here today to show you my video of my through hike of the Tahoe Rim Trail. It was 170 miles, 9 days. The shortest day I did was a Nero of 8.9 miles. The next shortest was an 18-mile day, and then all other days were 20 miles or higher. So it was pretty awesome. So 9 days, 2 below 20, and that's about it. So I hope you enjoy the video. I had a lot of fun out there backpacking, having a great time. The video is a little long in spots where I'm talking. Feel free to fast forward through a lot of the talking spots for a lot of the view spots. So backpackers, have a great time watching this video. Hopefully you have maybe not as much time as, maybe not as much fun as I did, actually being there and doing it, but have a good time watching it. It's a pretty cool place. All right, we are at the trailhead getting started. Tahoe Rim Trail, day 1, Kingsbury South. Let's go get it. I got 17 miles planned to get almost to Route 50 today, so that's not bad for a first day. Injury hanging on a little bit on the ankle, elevation, a little rough first day out, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm used to it. At any rate, let's get this party started. Check in with you later. Hey folks, official start. Just got off a half-mile access and now starting the actual Tahoe Rim Trail officially. Let's go see what it looks like. All right, a few miles into it, a couple miles in. It's been really beautiful so far. I'll take some video along the way, show you guys. Behind me, I don't know if you can see, it's in focus, but on the other side are some mountains, and I'll be going through these mountains. They're full of snow right now. Eventually, probably that's about 6 days away. Down below, you can see maybe where the lake is there. That's the Tahoe Lake, obviously, and I'll be heading around the lake through the mountains. It's awesome so far. Love the Sierra, it's beautiful. Can't, it's hard to describe. So I'll try to shoot some video for you along the way, give you some looks, but gonna have a great day today. It's sunny, not too warm yet. Putting in some miles, 17 miles today maybe. If plans go accordingly. Take it easy. Rocks, nice rocks. There's a lot of those in this Sierra. I had to stop for that, who cares? It's fun. Had to stop here too. Beautiful view of the lake. I'm gonna try to get you a glimpse. Now I'm gonna show you, I'll flip the camera around, show you some video real quick. I don't know if you can see that, I'm gonna try to zoom in. But that is the snow over on the other side of the lake. And I'll be going through that. That's probably Desolation Wilderness, covered in snow. In a few days I'll be there if all goes according to plan. I don't know, it's crazy, this pile of rocks behind me. I'll angle it up so you can see it's crazy. They're kind of stacked up the hill. I feel like if I pull out one of the little pebbles down below, the whole thing's gonna go right down into the lake. Crazy. I wouldn't do that though. Hey backpackers, just stopped for a lunch break. Got 8 miles in, started at 8 o'clock today. So that's like 4 hours. I'm averaging like 2 miles per hour. Taking a couple of breaks along the way. It's really hot, and so I try to take more breaks when it's hot. I don't hike very well when it's hot, and I got a late start because I just couldn't line up a shuttle to get to the trailhead until about 8. And I say that 8 o'clock to 12, I covered 8 miles, so that's 2 miles per hour. I probably started a little bit later than 8. That's about the time we arrived, and I had to do some stuff and get my gear rechecked and packed up and stuff. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm trying to actually get, around 2.5 mile per hour at the slowest. And I'm probably doing that because actually 8 miles on the TRT officially and a half-mile approach. So I'm pretty close to that. I mean, I'm pretty close to averaging like 2 point something. Probably, get my average up. I'm trying not to push too hard because it's the first day and, getting used to the elevation and so forth. It actually doesn't feel that bad. My lungs don't feel that bad at all. Feel really not a lot of effects besides just having, not being as, on top of it as far as, my wind and stuff like that. So everything seems pretty good. I've got less than 10 miles to go now. So got 9 miles to go to my campsite. Should be a pretty easy cruise, even at 2 miles per hour. That's 5 hours. It's 12:30, so that puts me in there at like 5:30, even if I just go 2 mile an hour the rest of the way out, and I'll probably average closer to 2.5. So that's pretty good. 5 o'clock with a, ending with 17.5 miles probably by the time I'm done. 17, almost 18 miles to the approach trail. So that's not too bad. I'll be in, like, hopefully by 5:30, I'll be done hiking, setting up camp. And that is pretty early. So, but it'll be nice to rest my feet and stretch out a little bit. I'm having definitely a little bit of ankle trouble. And that's concerning. It's not horrible. Probably if it doesn't, improve, I feel like I can hike through it. If it stays about the same or even gets a little bit worse, it's definitely, nagging me, all the time, but it's not horrible. I got 160 more miles to go. We'll see. I feel like I'll stretch it out, work it out, figure it out. I brought my massage ball that helps a lot, massaging my feet and my muscles around my ankle, and so do that. We'll see what happens. I just honestly, I'm probably just going to push through no matter what, because I just want to finish this trail. I don't think there's much that can, short of serious injury where I have to drag my leg along behind me. Again, it hurts. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to keep hiking. Hiking. I'll see you at camp probably. Maybe show you a little bit of sights on the way later. Hey backpackers, I'm at the bench at Spooner Summit. Nice views of Lake Tahoe, best views in the whole trail. Man, I had a rough day. I'll explain when I get back to the tent. It was interesting. All right, day number 1 recap, Tahoe Rim Trail. I had planned like 17 miles, something like that, and I overshot that a little bit. I'm over 18 now, as per Gut Hooks, or I think it's far out now, right? Far out. I hate these videos of people laying in their tents and giving a recap, but I'm going to do it anyway because I've been busy. This is going to be a bit of a long story recap for the day. This day was incredibly difficult. Probably one of the most difficult days that I've had on the high, in the Sierra. Not the most difficult. My first time, I went up 10,500 feet in one shot. That was the worst time. That was the first time I ever hiked the Sierra about 6 years ago. And then the first day, 2 days of the John Muir Trail was tough for me just because of the elevation. Once I adjusted, it was, fine. Today was really just this confluence of just really variables and, how I reacted to those variables, or how, my body reacted to those variables, that really just kind of made for a really, really, really struggle bus day. I felt really good in the morning. We had some cloud cover right away. I started out starting later than usual. Typically, I'm going to start hiking at 6 o'clock or earlier. I do that on purpose because I really am not good in the heat. Heat will slow me down more than anything. And many of you know that right now, in the Tahoe area, they're experiencing extreme heat every day. And it's really, it takes its toll on me. So I started out good because there was cloud cover. As soon as that cloud cover left, because it was so late in the day, I started probably about 8:30, something like that. I just couldn't get a shuttle in, for my early start date and at time. That's fine. I knew what I was getting myself into, but it kind of snowballed. So I was carrying literally because I'm trying to knock out the dry section of the trail, and I started it as see from the video. Started what is it? Something Berry South, Kingsbury South. Yeah, there we go, Kingsbury South. It'll be in the title anyway. Kingsbury South, and I wanted to knock out 17 miles to get like a couple miles maybe from Route 50 where I have somebody dropping some water for me, so I can do the rest of the dry section of the Tahoe Rim Trail. It's really a slog. There's a lot of folks out there slogging around today, clockwise and counterclockwise. But so my story is this: it started getting hot, and I was actually making really good time. I was in the beginning, I was probably doing around 3 miles per hour. That's my normal speed. Like I wanted it to be somewhere around, bottom 2.5, but at times if I could pick up the 3 mile, 3 mile an hour, be a little bit fast, 2.7, 2.8. That's great speed for me, and that's more than enough to make my times. I literally got to the camp anyway here where I'm camped now. Literally got here at 6 o'clock, I think it was, and I spent quite a bit of time looking for a campsite. I started looking for a campsite at 5:30 and just kept walking and looking and walking off trail and so forth. And by 6 o'clock, I selected a campsite that I thought was decent. But at any rate, so that's not bad. I mean, 18 miles starting at probably 8:30 and getting done, really done with those miles by 5:30. I mean, that's not bad. But still, I struggled. I mean, I was making good time then. I hit like right as I was, especially as I coming up through to Spooner, and that's really a gradual, the way I'm going is gradual, very gradual climb. There's no really big like elevation gains like really quickly. I think it's only like 100 feet or 200 feet per mile or something like that. So I'm coming up there and I'm just feeling myself just dwindling, and I can't push past it. My heart rate was good. It was like under 100, and so I wasn't like struggling that way. It was under 100 beats per minute. I mean, it was the heat, and my body was overheating. And also, I'd carried 5 liters of water, and I had run through that water. And I was down to probably about a quarter of a liter. And I knew, I was still 6 miles or plus, 6 miles plus from my target location. I had a quarter liter of water, and I had a little bit of water left in my 3 liter bladder that I'm carrying. So I had 5 liters to begin with, down to basically my last quarter liter, and I was trying to save it and I had a little bit of water in my bladder, maybe like an inch or two in the bottom of it. And I was trying to save it, but I was just thinking in my head, like, I've been consuming water so fast, there's no way that this water is going to last me. And I knew that I had heard that there was some snow on Spooner. And so that's really what I started to count on. And I had talked to a Tahoe Rim Trail. He's about ready to finish, I think, in the next 3 days. And I ran into him South Lake Tahoe. He was taking a 0 day. And literally, he melted snow at Spooner too. So he told me about that. And then one person that passed me going the opposite direction said that there was snow on Spooner. So the first patch of snow I came to, I literally, went over the snow, got out my poop shovel and started shoveling in the side of the snow to get to the clean stuff. And, it was like kind of a snow drift kind of thing. And I started to scrape and put it back. Yeah, it used a little bit of a trick, and this is a good trick. If you have water already in a bladder, you don't have to use your fuel to melt. And that's what a lot of people do. They use their fuel to melt snow. What I did is I knew I had a couple inches in my bladder, and I knew that water would melt the snow. So I just started putting it in slowly in the beginning and shaking around to melt the ice.
and then it got enough water in there that was pretty substantial, and I just started pushing the snow into the bladder. And I ended up with almost 3 liters of water from that snowdrift, which was more than enough to get me through. I was still feeling really bad though. I mean, I literally was like very lethargic because my body temperature had gone up so much and the sun was just beating down on me. And obviously, you know, I'm also adjusting to the altitude, and I feel like my body's doing a pretty good job. I'm not feeling overly like a lot of symptoms, but I know that I'm not 100%. And so I had all three of those things coming together at once, just pounding down on me. And I mean, I was like literally like very lethargic, like stumbling. And I wasn't like not thinking clearly. And you know, and actually, I just kept drinking that snow water. Not straight. I filtered it, and started drinking that, and that actually lowered my body core temperature. I could tell, like literally, I drank about a liter of it, about a half liter, and I just started feeling better instantly. I also used two things to do electrolytes. I used pills, like I got that from some of the ultra runners that use like different salt tabs and with electrolytes in them, and those are great. You do need water to help it absorb into your body faster, I'm told, and I see on the directions. But you know, the trick is knowing how much to take, how frequently to take it. And I was taking like two about every 2 hours. I probably should have been taking like two every hour, like during the heat of the day. And then I also have some electrolyte powder that I throw in my water too. But really, between those two things, I just downed a couple tabs of the electrolyte stuff, and then threw some in my water, and I just turned right around. I mean, my body lowered the temperature and turned right around. I was feeling good. The only thing that was bothering me is my foot injury, but it's not a game stopper. And I was able to actually get farther than I thought I could, which amazes me because I was just feeling terrible. I mean, I was like, I got to Spooner Summit, and it's the most beautiful, you know, view in on the Tahoe Rim Trail, and I'm just like, kind of like, oh, I got to take a picture, I guess, you know. And I was just trying to survive at that point in time. But once I started going down the hill, once I started drinking more of that cold water, you know, and pumping electrolytes in my body, it just came, you know, I came right back, and I felt great now, feel really good. You know, feet are sore, and that's the only thing. Like everything else, it feels great. I've got plenty of water now. I had water to cook, and got, you know, water to drink and have enough. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be able to reach Route 50, like I think in less than a mile and a half. I'm camped just outside the no camping zone for Route 50 crossing, and so in the morning I'll just wake up, pack up, probably wake up around 5ish, pack up camp, and head down to get water drop that's coming for me. So, and then I'm going to attempt to do the rest of the trail. I will say this, I know this is a little bit long, but I think it's worth saying, you know, I'm big on adjusting plans, because that's, you know, how I did the John Muir Trail. That's how we did the High Sierra Trail. If you've watched that video, there was a big curve thrown to us, and my son and I adjusted to it pretty easily. You know, which again, harking back to that, I mean, it was 100 degrees, and I felt fine. So something was just different, and I think it was just the heat and the intensity of the heat for the length of time, and the sun just beating down on me. But anyway, I'm gonna adjust the rest of the trail. I think tomorrow I've got to make it through the no camp zone, which is 16 miles, and I will. I was planning to do so many miles, like on the fifth day, that I would do a flyby. I would actually get into Tahoe City in the morning, like late morning, and have time to get a resupply, and then head out and do a few more miles. What I think I'm going to do is back off a little bit and land in Lake Tahoe on the fifth day still, but instead of doing a flyby, I'll land there a little bit later, because I'm going to shave back my miles a little bit to try to get like flow with kind of where I think there's some water. There's a campground that near the end of that 16 miles that you're allowed to camp at, I think. And I've got to look at my map and figure all that out. I think that's true. And so I might do that and just do fewer miles, but then the next day, like bang out like a 20, and then the next day bang out whatever I need to do to get into, south, into Tahoe City, on the 5th day earlier in the day. So I've got like, this is day 1. I've got 4 days really to adjust mileage and adjust to the water carries. I will tell you this though, I'm going to send back some stuff because the water carriers are no joke. I mean, when you're carrying I was carrying 5 liters of water, and that's like 10 to 12 pounds. I'm not doing exact. It's like 2 pounds per liter. It's actually 2 point something, right? So I'm carrying about 10 to 12 pounds of water with me, and that's not easy on top of my gear. And honestly, a lot of my gear is not needed now. I'm going to send back, honestly, the puffy. I have a system where I can handle cold weather. I've got a 20-degree bag with me, so I'm not going to get cold sleeping this time of year, especially since it's heat wave. I mean, obviously things can change, but I think I'm fine there. So I'm going to adjust my clothing, send back one of my heaviest pieces of clothing that I brought with me, and that's my puffy, hooded puffy actually. So I'll send that back based on this heat wave. Probably send back a few odds and end pieces of gear. I think I can probably save maybe 2 pounds of gear. I'm going to get reports from the folks coming out of Desolation Wilderness, coming clockwise, because I know folks are starting to go through there, see if they have ice axes or not, see if they're needed. Definitely crampons are going to be needed. The last report I saw on the 11th, I definitely saw a chute that was posted by the forestry that said, the picture, it's definitely a chute, definitely needs something for self-rest, ice axe. But I'm wondering if things have changed since the 11th, because I'm not going to be going through, through the Desolation Wilderness for several days. And so it's been changing rapidly since the 11th. So I'm going to check that out, and I might be able to send my ice axe home and still be safe if I can. If I got to carry it, I'll carry it. That's why I brought it, because I was, I thought that I'd definitely have to use it. But now things are changing quickly. So be sending back a box of stuff home that I thought I was going to need, but the weather's different, and I'm adjusting. So I'm lightening my load to account for some water carries if I need to do more, and just to lighten my load anyway. And because, like I said, I brought some stuff because of the weather, and I might send it home because the weather is different than I expected, and adjust my miles a little bit, at least till I get to Tahoe. I'm going to do a 0 there because I'm going to have to mail stuff. That'll give me a chance to rest. And really, it's not going to change much because the flyby I was going to do on the 5th day, I was only going to get a few more miles past South Lake Tahoe anyway. So it might be just good to stay there, rest up, and rejuvenate, and just finish the rest of the trail in 5 more days. So I'd have 5 days on trail and then 1 0 day. And I think, that's what I'm shooting for. And I have the time, built into my flight out. So all is good. So that's a long 15 minutes of summary of the day, but man, it was a lot, and it's changing a lot for me. And I think the one big takeaway that I give the folks is this: you got to use your head out here. If you want to finish the trails, you got to adjust. And there are ways of adjusting that stay maybe within your time frames and so forth. So you got to adjust, and I'll, once I sit down and figure out my map and stuff, tomorrow I'll talk about what adjustment I did, at the end of the day for that day, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So until next time, backpackers, next video, take it easy, get out there, do some backpacking, stop watching YouTube videos, unless they're mine, then watch them all from start to finish. Later, backpackers. All right, blasting off this morning before 6 o'clock, just a little bit before, a few minutes. Getting my system down for getting up. I've got a few odds and ends pieces of gear I didn't have before. It's throwing off my plan in the morning. Usually I get rolling in about 30 minutes, but that took maybe 45 minutes to get rolling. Anyway, yeah, I got only 1 mile to go to get to my water drop on Route 50. and somebody's kindly dropped some water there for me, and I'm going to pick that up, probably reorganize a couple things. Pack's a lot lighter right now because I'm not carrying, a lot of water. I'm gonna have to water up again to do the next stretch. I plan to do 20 today in my mapping. If it, at least have to do 16 to get out of, a little bit under 16 to get out of the no camping area. So even if I get like 17 again today, well, we got 18 yesterday, even if I get 18 again today, that would be fine. So I'm shooting for 18 to 20. I'll be dry camping again. I think there's maybe one water source between me and my dry camp. Hey, backpackers, just checking in, day 2. I just got done climbing about 1,000 feet, and it was out of Route 50, so I guess it's 1,000 feet, a couple miles, maybe a couple miles, close to 1,000 feet. I'm like start 7,000. I think I'm at like 7,900, something like that, plus. So sometimes there's little side trails to these vistas, and you skip them. But I made it up here, did the work, so I thought I'd take a look, and here you go. I'm going to show you right now. Whoo, baby, another climb. I'm high on life. Look behind me, I can't get it to focus, but those mountains are covered in snow. It's pretty ominous knowing that in a few days I'm gonna be up there in that snow, up there in those mountains, and actually circumnavigating this whole lake is, from this vantage point, it kind of almost looks impossible, even though I know it's not. It's gonna be fun and hard all at the same time. Later, backpackers. Hey, just checking in. I am now at 8,992 feet. This is considered 9,000 feet. If I went up over in that little hump over here behind me, I'm sure I'd be at 9,000 feet. There's snow, there's a peak over here with snow on it. And then behind me is the beautiful Lake Tahoe, which is blurred out. But I made it to, I think this is a high point on this section of the trail for me. So just wanted to show you that. It's pretty awesome. I'll show you right now, check it out. Didn't do a recap last night. I was pretty tired. I got 20 miles in yesterday. Big water carry, probably about 12 pounds of water, 5 liters. I'm guessing it's like between 10 and 12. It was rough. It was a slog. Felt better yesterday, ending the day, than I did the day before. That's not saying much. I'm not saying it was easy. It's not like it's easy for me at 57 to rip off a 20, but I can do it. Still, don't know how, but I just pushed through it. Yesterday was actually pretty good. It was tough, but it was manageable. I managed my water a little bit better. Managed my heat of the day a little bit better by stopping about every 30 minutes, really, and just taking my pack off and getting some drinks, and that seemed to help a lot. I was able to overall move faster. Finished, did, I want to say 3,700 feet elevation gain yesterday. Did highest point was, I think, almost 9,000 feet. Like, I think they consider it 9,000 feet, something like that. And then the miles, like I said, was 20. I did that before 5 o'clock. I had a 6 a.m. start. I stopped a lot though to talk to people, to get intel on the trail. Anyway, that's yesterday's recap. New day. Let's go. New day. Yeah, this is day 3. I'm heading out in the morning here. It's beautiful right now. Don't want to film too much because I got to keep moving. Got 2 miles before I'm in the water. So that's like 38, about 40 miles of trail where you have to do big water carries. For me, at least, it was 5 liters. Once I hit this 2 mile mark and a piece of water here, I'll be in a situation where there'll be water now, and I can plan pretty easily around it. So day 3, starting out on a high note. Yeah, I gotta get up this hill later. Hey, just stopped back at the bottom of this climb to have some breakfast by the first creek, starting the wetter section of the trail. Feels so nice not to have to carry 5 liters. Got like 2 liters on me now. It's a whole new brave world. I think I'm gonna go like 18 miles today. I have to check my plan, but 18 miles, and should be a good one. Let's keep watching. And I'll show you some sights. It's pretty cool up here, especially early in the morning. I covered like 2 miles in 30 minutes this morning to get to that creek, which is crazy. It's averaging like 4 miles per hour, and some uphill on that too. So morning is good for me. Can usually make some time in. All right, backpackers, check in with you later on day 3. This is great. Oh man, this is great. Day 3, just hit the water again. I went through like 3 flows already. Feels good. There'll be more sparse as I get farther down, but still manageable. It's gonna be good. Show you some views right now. I started losing elevation down in the forest now, so definitely under 8,000 feet. I don't know, I didn't check. Maybe, yeah, definitely under 8,000 feet. But I'm kind of gliding into Tahoe City now. It'll take me on the 3rd day, I'll be in. Mosquitoes are getting into Tahoe City, so still a couple days out. Check out the snow though. Take a look. Ooh, day 3 update. Just past Rose Valley Campground or Rose Peak or something like that. Anyway, it's beautiful out here. I'm actually doing a little park road walk right now. That's part of the trail, but gotta figure out where to go here. There's a spur someplace, so I gotta go now. But I'll show you some sights real quick. Says explore. I think that's what I'm doing. I think it counts. Oh well, this is Rose Valley trailhead, so I had to cross a major highway behind me. Now I'm heading back up into the mountains again. Oh yeah, time to hike. Feel better today because I don't have to carry 1,000,000 pounds of water.
I got 8 miles to go to the next water source, so I can take like 2 liters, and that's fine. So as long as I keep moving, and I'm gonna keep moving. So let's go. Update. One just made a wrong turn. No signage for the TRT here, and there's a trail split. And I thought my app was telling me to go one direction, and it really wasn't. So now I hope I'm back on track. We're gonna find out here in a second. I see another marker. I think I am. Oh yeah, I see the blue triangle of life, which is the TRT sign. Ooh, let me show you the view from the top of Relay Peak right now. Little update. Man, I'll tell you what, the medication I'm taking for Lyme disease really is put a hurting on my resistance to the sun. Pretty much covered everywhere. Keep putting sunscreen on my face and stuff like that. Feel pretty good everywhere but my hands, because I'm using my trekking pole. Now I have gloves, and I didn't even think about that. And I didn't think it would be such a huge deal, but it is. I mean, my hands are killing me now. They're really just red from the sun. Luckily, I brought these gloves for snow travel in Desolation Wilderness, these fingerless gloves, and they go up right to the very edge of the fingertips. So I'm gonna wear those. It's gonna look weird as heck out here in the heat, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do, man, because I cannot let my hands burn. If they get any worse than they are right now, honestly, I won't be able to manipulate stuff, and I don't know. I mean, I won't be able to hike. I feel like, I mean, they're burning that bad that I just feel like I'd be doing damage to them if I just kept going. I didn't have a way to cover them, so I'm gonna figure that out now. Getting a little sketchy up in here. Up on the cliff. Real quick video. Did make a video yesterday because I'm running out of juice, and so yesterday was 20 miles. Did really good. Felt really good at the end of the day. I made that by 5:30 in the evening, or 5 or 5:30 in the evening. It wasn't too bad. Had some problems with sunburn, really bad problems. I had to make these gloves out of my fleece gloves, and I had to put some stuff over the end because I'm so sunburnt from the medication I'm taking for a tick bite. It's ridiculous. I had to call my doctor this morning. Running out of juice, and I've got another day to Tahoe City yet, so I'm probably not going to make too many videos from here on out, but I'm actually just enjoying this creek here. Eating some food. Hope that didn't make you too dizzy. Made 10 miles by 10 o'clock today. Wasn't too bad. And I'm trying not to hike in the sun basically as much, so I try to get a bunch of miles in the morning. Anyway, this is the summary from day 3, which I did 20 miles, and then this is the beginning of day 4, and probably I'm going to try to hit 20 miles again today, so I have under 10 to go to get to Tahoe City. So I'm burning the miles. Hey folks, just put in a monster day on day 4 through the Sierra.
24 miles, 24.6 miles to be exact. I was gonna split that up into two because I got so far ahead. Something's messed up with my hotel reservation for tomorrow night. So I wanted to get close so I could try to straighten out early in the morning. But when I got close, I was like, might as well keep going. And I was like, might as well keep going. And I just kept going. Got to the place where I was gonna camp at 20 miles so I could do an easy jaunt in the morning. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. So I kept on going. And here I am, homeless in Tahoe City, because it's the weekend. And this place is like $5.2 million to stay someplace. So anyway, I'm gonna figure it out. I think there's some kind of backpacker campground someplace around here. We'll figure it out later. Bye.
Hey backpackers, this is Juan. This is made it to Tahoe City a day early. I put in 24 miles yesterday to get here. I was gonna split that last 24 miles up, but I was so close. I was just like, let me go for, the full, bore, get in town. I was able to get a room at a hotel. I was trying to get a second night, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So getting my resupply ready now today. Today's like my town day then, and I'll probably leave like kind of at the end of the day once I get these other things done I have to do. Got to get some stronger sunscreen. I need to get a 70 SPF yet. Need to get some sun gloves. Taking a medication for a tick bite that's really reduced my ability to fight the sun tremendously. I've never had this much trouble in my life. Usually SPS 50 and I'm good to go. Sometimes not even that in the Sierra. And it's really hit me hard. So I'm gonna take care of that once one of the stores opens up here that I want to try to look, see if they have a good solution up around those SPF. But anyway, doing my resupply. I didn't really calculate the calories on this, but it's high calorie. It's the Juan way. I wouldn't recommend this. I don't do breakfast, and so what I do is just have these big bulky lunches with a lot of calories. And I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. I'll flip the phone around here and start talking. So here we go. Okay, so you can see here, this is kind of my auxiliary stuff. This is kind of almost breakfast for me. I don't like all the breakfast options that are out there, like bars. I just don't like them. I don't like anything sweet. And so, but nuts are good for me. Jerky, that kind of thing, really good for me. And so here's what I have, kind of almost like breakfast. I take a couple shots of this in the morning, get about, like a couple servings of this. It's going to be over like 400 calories right away in the morning. And so that's great. I've got some, I don't really like sweet stuff, but for some reason I like Welch's fruit snacks. They're just for fun. And then these honey stingers, I might keep them in my bear can. Don't like them because they're sweet that much, but they are 150 calories each. Good boost if I need it. I'm debating that one, might leave those off. This is a meal I had leftover meals to go. It's overkill, uses way too much water, especially for dry trails. And so I'm not really digging this stuff. It is excellent tasting, but it's not really good. You can see I repackaged it with the instructions in here. I'm just gonna take it and use it up. My dinners from here on out are gonna be something around 500 calories or so, just some white meat, some mashed potatoes, real easy to make. Takes up very little room in my bear can, and it's lighter, so I'm taking those options. You can see here, just so the nuts, I have tons of nuts, and I love beef sticks. These are 140 calories a piece, each beef stick. So you can see here, like I've got at least 4 in each day, sometimes 5. And so really, we're talking over 500 calories just for that, plus probably 400 calories in the nuts here, and then a boost of these are probably a couple hundred at least calories. And then I've got my for each day I've got some electrolytes, which I also take salt tabs too. So this is a trick I learned from ultra runners, and I'm going over to get it. These are my capsules I'll take with my water that I drink. Basically drinking water, straight water, and then take some of these each day. I have 10 parsed out for each day, and that helps me keep my electrolytes going. But you can see here, I mean, I've got tons, even though I don't have real breakfast, I've got tons of calories in that lunch, and that's why I like it, because this is the stuff I like. I like salty stuff, I like nuts, and so that's what I'm gonna go with, because I absolutely know I'll eat it on the trail. I came back with a bunch of food. Let me show you the food that I came back with that I didn't eat. Look at all these cookies that were in my bear can. They weigh about 1 million pounds a piece. Didn't eat those. Bars, I ate like 2 whole bars. I don't like bars. I'm gonna go down to Alpen Road, see if they have a hiker box down there and give them this stuff. And then even this thing right here, awesome meal, heavy, bulky. It's still in the packaging. So that is my food plan. And as I said, like just these beef sticks over these many days are like over 1,600 calories, almost 1,700 calories. So I got plenty of calories to keep me going here. I got food that I know I'm going to eat on the trail through trial and error, and this is what I'm going with. So that's my food plan. Through the power of magic and video, this is all that food that was laid out in my bear can. That's a 450 BB 450. And it's way lighter than the last food load out I had, because of the kind of food that I put in here and the density of the calories and the size of the food. And then I also have room for my salt capsules and some medication I need, and then my toothpaste and so forth. No stinky stuff I take with me, and that is it. You can see there, pretty easy. So after a few days, after one day, I'm gonna start having more room. I even had room for these in here. Probably won't even eat them, but man, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another 800 calories or more in there. So there's a ton of calories in this. And again, because I can rely on, nuts and, and things like that, because I can eat them. But if you're allergic to nuts and stuff, don't come next to me on the trail, because it's not going to be good. Later, backpackers. Okay, backpackers. I'm going to do just first off, I just want to say about my loadout or my food. It's probably about 2,500 calories per day. I'm just eyeballing it, and it works for me. You'll have to check out your own plan, but I just want to give you a summary of what I did here so far. Started in Kingsbury South, ended up in Tahoe City in 4 days. Day ahead of schedule. Each day was, the lowest day I did 18 miles, and then the other 3 days were all 20 miles point something, or 2 days were 20 point something miles. Last day was 24 point something miles, almost 25 miles last day. So to push to come in, I got a room. I can't get one for tomorrow night, so I'm going to probably hike out tonight. And that will actually keep me kind of on track for when I thought I'd finish anyway. So that's great. I was going to extend it one extra day to finish, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that now. So from here on out, I'm going to slow down a bit. Going to be going through Desolation Wilderness, the snow and so forth. I think that's going to be an issue. There's going to be some navigation issues, I think. Probably have to use my micro spikes. Probably not my ice axe, but I'm going to carry it anyway. So it might be dead weight, but it is what it is. I brought it, so I'm not going to ship it back. I am going to slow down. I've been beating up my legs a little bit, nothing serious, but I don't need to go that fast. I have 5 days now. I got enough food to do it in 5 days. If I need to do faster, I can. And so I'm going to try to enjoy the trip through Desolation Wilderness. That's the piece I was really looking forward to, and I should hit the heart of Desolation Wilderness, not the first night out, but the second night out of Tahoe City. And so hoping to spend at least one night in Desolation Wilderness before I blow through there. So it's been real. It's not done yet. I don't know that I'm going to finish. A lot can happen out there. I had some issues with sun. I'm on a medication for a tick bite, and it makes me wildly sensitive to the sun. I've never experienced this before. Usually SPS 50, and sometimes not even that, multiple days. Here in the Sierra has been fine for me. And I've had zero issues with sun. And I mean, my hands were burnt. I was burnt under my fingernails. I didn't even know that was possible. Under my fingernails, like whatever's under my fingernails was burnt so bad I could barely touch my top of my fingernails. So I took my last course yesterday morning, and so I think that's going to clear up pretty quickly. I am going to look into some options before I leave town. I couldn't get another hotel night to do a full 0 today. I got in last night, so I'm going to check out of my hotel eventually here by checkout time, and then I am going to hang in town just a little bit longer to get a couple other things done. I need some sun gloves. I need to get some SPF 70, I think, and I'm waiting for the store next door, the Alpenglow place, to open up to see if I can get that stuff. And then I'm going to pack up stuff. I got my food done, and probably just hike out of town tonight, and just couple miles or so, find a good camp spot, and then just bed down there. And then next day we'll start the real day one of 5. Since I can't get a hotel, I'm going to be hoteling it in the woods. Yeah, that's what it's all about. This has been great. No guarantees of finishing. There's a lot to go yet. There's a lot of navigation in the snow. Man, I came over Relay Peak, and and that day, I think it was day 3, and man, that was a little sketchy for me. There was a couple snow chutes across the trail that could end up in a slide in the trees and so forth. Okay, the maid knocked at the door. So there was a couple of snowshoots across the trail that definitely could end up in a slide, not over a cliff or anything like that, but down into the trees, and that can be just as dangerous, sliding in the tree. And so I did have to cross with caution. I wouldn't call them highly technical and difficult, but it was interesting. And so there was some big snow drifts that lost the trail, had to regain the trail again briefly, and so it's been pretty fun. Nothing overly challenging, but still you got to be careful out here. That's the key. I think I was a kayak instructor for 12 years, and I've learned about risk mitigation and just kind of thinking through scenarios, as you're going through things or ahead of time, to make sure that you're being safe. And so that's basically what I've been doing. If I didn't feel like something's safe, I wouldn't be doing it. Here there's some tricky water crossings that and I'm not sure where those would be. I think probably in lake outflows. So I'm going to be watching for those. I have a pretty high tolerance for whitewater since I was a kayak instructor and spent some time in whitewater. So I have a pretty high tolerance there, and I understand water and it really well, and dangers of being in fast water, and that's again risk mitigation. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to some of the river crossings. But anyway, that's just me. So folks, until I get on here again and give you an update, hopefully I'll give you like small updates. I got to watch my battery life. I started running low and didn't really film on the last day. So that I was out on trail, and that might happen again. So might be some gaps here. I hope not, but there might be some gaps in the video. So see y'all on the trail. Another update from the tent. I'm going to do end of day review of day 6. Tim done it, and that day I went 20 point some miles, and it was really a pretty tough day because of the weather. It was really hot, and I struggle a bit when it's hot and to make miles and to go faster. I guess standard, still pretty good miles, but I like to be done like around 5 to 6 o'clock, and it just seemed like it took me forever to get those miles in. I think I was done hiking around 7 or something like that. Had a great campsite though. It was incredible, right next to a creek, plenty of water. The hike in the day was really nice, except for the hottest parts of the day. It made it a little rough. But overall, day 6 was really good. It's positioned me to really cruise into home. I don't have to do as many miles now to get in 10 days. I could push because of day 6 and because of the Nero that I took yesterday in Tahoe City. I stayed one night and then left the next day because I got there a day early. So that Nero kind of helped me add some bonus miles. And I got 9 miles on that Nero day, leaving at 3 p.m. So not too bad. And then obviously on the 6th day, which I'm talking about now, I got over 20 miles. So the miles are racking up. I'm feeling pretty good about being able to finish the hike. Having some problems with my ankle. Hopefully that doesn't exacerbate. I don't think it will, to the point where I have to stop hiking. I don't know that much can stop me now. So other than someone, unknown illness that hits me or something like that, giardia, right, from not filtering water properly or filters not working. But that's it for day 6.
Okay, this is actually day 7. The end of day 7. I did day 6 review, laying down. I hate those summaries laying down like this, but I had so much to do. So this is day 7 summary. This was a tough day. I started at Phipps Creek, and I went just under 17 miles today, but I did really the entire Desolation Wilderness in one shot. Phipps Creek is a few miles into the Desolation Wilderness, and then boom, I came out the other side. I actually hit the sign, realized that I didn't have the ability to camp on the other side because you can't camp at the lake, people were telling me, this particular lake. And so I backed up back into the wilderness where I do have a permit to camp. So I'm right at the sign, like literally, not at the sign, but literally, if I threw a rock twice, I could hit it. But day 7 was rough. It was rough in a couple ways. It was nice temperatures because I was really above 8,000 feet most of the time. But the snow was pretty incredible. There were drifts and just snowpack left on north sides of the mountains that were 10 feet deep, and lost the trail numerous times during the day. Can't help it because the snow is 10 feet deep. And so once you run out of trail, you're just staring like a 10 feet pile of snow, and that pile of snow could go on forever. So it was pretty interesting. Had to do some pathfinding, using electronics and so forth to position where I am and where the trail is. When I was going up, I think it's Barker Pass, it's like 19,400 feet, something like, or 9,400 feet, biggest pass to get over in the day in Desolation Wilderness. And literally, at first I was trying to follow the trail under the snow, and I was doing okay at it, but I ran into too many roadblocks, like big piles of snow, and I had to slide down off of them, and it was pretty treacherous because it's on by side hill, I mean like a mountainside. So at one point I realized, looking at my map, there was a big, long switchback that went right to the peak. And so if I just went straight up the mountain with my crampons on, which I wore for that section of the trail, that for lots of sections of the trail after that, but I literally put on my crampons, just went straight up over the mountain, and I knew where I was going. I knew I was going to hit that. I hit where the switchback should have been, and I realized that the top was pretty flat, like the topography. There was no point in me like following a trail that was 10 feet under snow. So I immediately just went straight up over to the top, and then made a left and headed directly towards the actual summit. And there was the post was thought out enough to see the post on the summit, so that was pretty cool. But and I got a photo with that. But so that was my trick there. Just kind of like went straight up the mountain with my crampons on. I didn't have to use my ace axe at all. There were no like what I would perceive as really dangerous chutes. I think the most dangerous chute I've crossed was actually 2 days ago, around they call it Relay Peak, and it was a little sketchy. And I should have actually used my ace axe, and I didn't. Don't tell anybody. I just didn't want to like tinker with the gear. I should have. It wasn't like it was a slide that would go over a cliff or anything like that. It was kind of like leveled out at the bottom, but there were some boulders and some things you could hit, and obviously you'd get injured in end your hike that way. So everything went well in the snow today. I'm really honestly kind of proud of myself that I was able to do these things and to find my way in the snow like that, and to figure things out as I went, with safety in mind all the time. It was every move I made, it was okay. If I go over this snow pile, 10 feet snow pile, and then it drops over the other side, what am I going to do, right? Like how am I going to get out of that? I did some big boulder scrambles too, to get through some places when I was going up the passes. It was a really cool day. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a little frustrating because I didn't make as many miles. I mean, I'm close to 17 after all that, but it was really challenging. And it was not hot today because I was high, so that was good, not high. you know what I mean, high up in elevation. So it wasn't hot today, and I did take like almost an hour lunch break near a creek. Once I got done with all the snow running, which I thought I was done, and then I wasn't. So there you go. But got through all the snow, flying colors, and I'm ready to hopefully in 3 more days get this thing done. I've got a 19-mile day planned tomorrow. I've got a 16 plus mile day, a little bit easier day, the day before I finish. Might extend that longer, it just depends on the terrain and water sources. And then I based my stopping point around a water source, and if I can go farther, I will. But with my current plan on the 3rd day, I'll have less than 10 miles to go, like 9 point something miles to go. And I should be able to make that 9 miles before about 10 or 11 o'clock on the last day. So cross your fingers. Hopefully everything will go well. Not going to get injured, and I will finish this Tahoe Rim Trail 3 days from now. Later, folks. Morning, day 8. Hey, look behind me. I don't know if you can see that. It's not focusing in, but that sign back there says taxi. This is the Echo Lake taxi. I could cut out like 2 or 3 miles and cheat that way. Wait like 2 hours for the taxi maybe to take me to the other side, but I'm not going to. I hear there's Echo Lake Chalet on the other side of this lake. It's like a little store and so forth right off of the TRT. So I hope it's open when I get there. It's like a little bit after 6 now. I think I got like 2 or 3 miles to go to get there. So if they're open in the morning, or if I just have to wait around a little bit longer, I'll do that. I'm putting in 19.5 miles today. And so that'll leave me with 16 the next day, and then less than 10 to get in on my very last day. So 3 more days, including this day. This is day 8. Yeah, 8, and then 9, and then 10. Yeah. Hey, I can count to 10. Woo! It's getting close. Hopefully I'm gonna make it. I don't like to call my shots, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Does Juan make it or not? Coming up on the Echo Lake Chalet. Hopefully they're open. I want to get some junk food or something. I hear they have food. I've been there before, driving in, but let's see what they got. Okay, backpackers, yesterday was day 8. I think I filmed it all. I did 20 miles. It was a slog. This is day 9. I did more miles than expected 2 days in a row. So I had, when I woke up this morning, probably around 25 miles to go to finish. My initial plan last night on day 8 was to split it up into 2 more days, so I get everything done in 10 days as I planned. At this point, I feel when I hit the 15 miles, I might just go for the full 25. See what we do. Hey, backpackers. I want to talk about the mental game really quickly. This is my 9th day. I don't feel really that, worn because I'm out on trail. Just the amount of distance I've been covering in the terrain I've been covering it. Lots of snow, lots of elevation gains and stuff like that. I've hiked in Sierra for, pretty good number of miles. High Sierra Trail and John Muir Trail. So I know what it's like. And when you're covering like 20 plus miles and you're going up passes and you're doing 3,700 feet of elevation gain, I think today if I do the full 25, I'll be doing over 4,000 feet of elevation gain. That's rough. And for me, the middle of the day is the roughest, like that middle of the day. 1 o'clock to about 3:30, because it gets hot and it really drains me. I can keep moving, but quite honestly, it takes all I have to take every step. I'm pushing the whole time. And some might say it's not fun, but for me, pushing like that is fun when I'm done with it. I know that when I push it, I'm gonna, have fun, eventually, and I'm gonna be, proud of my accomplishment. Whatever that accomplishment might be, small or big. So, like today, it's kind of like I'm wavering back and forth mentally. Do I push hard? I know I can to push hard to get that 25, 26 miles I need to finish today. Or do I just kick back? I've done trails where I just kick back, and I like that. This trail is really, challenging to do in this big 20-mile, 25-mile chunks, and I'm actually enjoying that challenge a little bit. At the end of the day, just looking back over what I did. So I may end up pushing, I don't know, I'm on this teetering mental edge of, do I just want to like relax my last 2 days, or do I want to just push it hard and get in there in 9 days and go and enjoy some ice cream and stuff like that? I have to say, like, you're listening to this, you're probably like, that guy's nuts. How can that even be fun? Like, slow down, right? Slow down, or do this or do that. And I get that, and I've done trips like that. I did the John Muir Trail like that. No plan at all. If we wanted to go 10 miles, we went 10 miles. We wanted to go 2 passes, we did 2 passes, to challenge ourselves a little bit. So we did those things, and we had a lot of fun too, my son and I, when we did that. But my background in the things I've done, really, in my mentality is a push mentality, and I love it. I when I'm doing it, it hurts. It sucks. I'm pushing myself mentally. I'm trying to motivate myself in my head. But then when I'm done, I just love it. I just love that feeling of just having pushed as hard as I could beyond the point that I thought I could. So, it's just the way I do things sometimes when I'm in that mood to push. So let's see what kind of mood I'm in today. Am I gonna stop at 15, 20? Or am I gonna push it in for that 25, 26 and finish the trail? Stay tuned. All this sand and dry and rain, or I'm sorry, and sun, and then you run into snow all of a sudden. Pretty cool. Well, I'm on track to finish today if I want to. I figured if I could get 10 miles before 10 o'clock, that I'd have a shot at it, and I did. I got 10.3, and considering the elevation gain I did in that 10.3, I think I've already gained over 2,000 feet of elevation, or climbed 2,000 feet of elevation, because I was down in 7,000s to start. Literally went up almost 9,000 this morning. So it's pretty crazy. I'll have to double check it. I'll put it below. So I don't like saying things that aren't true and exaggerating, but I think it was around 2,000 or so feet. So most of my climbing, today I think is done. I think if I do the full 25, I'll have over 4,000 feet of elevation gain, but most of it's coming in this first 15 miles. And I got one more elevation gain to go after within this first 15 miles. And then I think I'm gonna lose elevation. I only have to maybe climb about 800 feet in that last 10 miles. So there we go, on our way. Let's see what happens. All right, folks, coming up on the marker that I started at. It's not the trailhead, because the official trail starts up at the marker about a half a mile from the trailhead. And so I'm winding up on it right now, and I'm gonna touch it just like I touched it when I started. Almost there, 170 miles on the Tahoe Rim Trail. Boom, got it. All right, folks, I made it. I already tagged the marker up on the real trail at 170 miles round trip. This is a trailhead, another half-mile out. I checked my stats. I did 24.8 miles. I think it was. I have to go back and check my pins. So it was around 25 miles, and then 4,200 plus feet of elevation gain today. Finished by, well, I was done by at least 5 o'clock. So that's not too bad of a day. Man, it was rough, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this. If you get a chance, get out and do the Tahoe Rim. You won't regret it.